Hello guys, welcome back to Truffles Live in History. So today we are going to be removing this Solex carburetor from my Jeep, which isn't really doing its job properly, replacing it with this Joe's Multiple carburetor, which is from Jeffrey Engineering, so should have already been worked through and be fully functional, and hopefully that's going to solve all my Jeep woes. Nope, going to be a disaster. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay then, I'm all set up here. I'm basically going to just get on with this whilst waffling on about random things. You've seen me pull carbs off here a couple of times now, so I don't think I need to go over it in detail. But there is a couple of things I will just point out on this Solex as we take it off. To do with basically the best way to get these on and off Jeeps, because they can be a bit of a pain because they're not really designed to be on a Jeep. The first one is that the back nut round here is almost impossible to get to. So you're going to have to probably take your oil can out here. And what we've got is a little spanner, or wrench for you Americans, that's been cut right down. So what you can do, if I get my other spanner, you can then fit this one to the nut where there's no room, and then you can get a ring spanner that's big enough, pop that on there and undo it. Now I've already cracked the nuts off this because I had a little bit of an accident when I was putting this carb on. The screw that holds the choke cable in, I may have righty-tightied until I righty-loosied. So I've already got these all loose and ready to come off, just because I didn't want to waste time when I started doing the video. So yeah, as soon as we got this off, we'll be able to just remove this carb because I've basically already done all the work. As you can see, all of the choke cables and everything are already detached, because we don't want to be messing around with that for the 5 millionth time. So that's your fuel cable, which is bone dry, and now this should lift as I unscrew it. There we go. Get that nut and washer off there, because I do not want it going down the inlet manifold. And here we are. Just a little bit of advice: when you've got your carburetor off like this, if you're doing anything for any amount of time at all, just get yourself a lint-free cloth and just shove it in there so you don't drop anything into your inlet manifold. And then the first part of installing the car is to put the diffuser on. Make sure it goes on pointing down. Not the most scientifically difficult process in the world. I'm just going to drop this on so then I know nothing's going to vanish down into that inlet manifold. Right, the bit to note with these is this front bolt. You've got to lift the carburetor up, put the washer on, drop it down, and then you've got to put the nut on and do this nut up as you drop the carburetor into possession like that, because otherwise you can't get it on, in the same way that I couldn't get the one off the Solex. So that's in. So now, as I went over a lot of this before, I'm not going to bother doing all that again. I'm just going to get on with it, film it, probably speed it up so you can see me faffing around. Okay, so we've run into a bit of a snag. I can't get that union to attach. See if we can get it on like this. Right, so it will go in, so that's something to do with where the pipe was. Obviously not squared up. This can be a bit fiddly. Pipes are a bit bent up, or the union ain't quite parallel. Come on. This is not the bit that I expected to be difficult. Plan 2, undo the pipe from the fuel pump and then put it in the carburetor first and then back into the fuel end. This is going to put petrol all over the place. Right, so now the pipe is loose. Should be able to, there you go, put that in there. And give this one a tighten. There you go, the pipe's not moving now, just give it a little bit more. Right guys, so this is an important bit and I might not be able to show you on camera, but I'm going to try. If you can try and see right down into the bottom of the barrel there, you should see the butterfly, the brass coloured butterfly. Now when I move this accelerator pump down, that needs to open all the way. So last thing I want to test, try and get in front of the camera here, sort of primer up, and then I want to see if the accelerator pump's working. Right, the bowl's full, so if I do this, nothing. Absolutely. Oh, there we go, that's just priming itself. Yep, that's definitely working. Right then, this is the part where I have a mild panic attack. So the first thing I didn't do is try and fire it up without any choke or anything on, just see if it bucks off and runs. It might do some backfire and I don't know how noisy or anything it's going to get. Anyway, I've put you off the Jeep so you don't get all the shakes. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we know we're primed, we know the accelerator pump works. We're out of gear, we've got no choke. Yep, the choke is open. Let's see what she does. Oh, she fired. And that's all she's going to do. Right, let's put some choke on. Put a little bit on. Try again. Let's try full choke. Well, that was pretty successful, guys. So what we need to do now is adjust the idle, because that is way too high. Oh, can I even get in here? So what I'm going to do, I know you've got the back to me, but I thought I'd just quickly do this. Got to get this piping all replaced at some point, because that's just a pain in the ass. Let's fire her back up, get you off there so don't go shake mad. Sounds a bit better, guys. Right then, we're all tidied up. The only thing left for me to do is back out of here, with the bonnet up apparently, back out of here and give her a quick test drive and blow her down the road to see what she does. See if she can even move under her own power, because although it's running nice, that doesn't mean that it's running nice. So I'm just going to see if we can back out. Oh yeah. Right, see what she does. Oh yeah. Right then guys, so I have to say that's probably more successful than I ever thought that was going to be. So I just blew her down the road about a mile. She's got all of the power, she just wants to go. The accelerator pump is like that when you put it in. You barely have your foot on the accelerator. If you want to go 30, just cruise at 30 miles an hour, you can barely touch that accelerator. The slightest touch and you're up to 37. Put my foot down going uphill all the way to 48 miles an hour like a breeze. So this appears to have made a massive difference to the Jeep. Certainly over the Solex. That Solex has done me well. It got me out of a pinch. Very grateful to my friend Chris who let me buy that off him literally about 2 days after the other one went wrong. So that's good. That got me for a year and I'll keep that as my spare. But before we end the video, I just want to do one more thing. I'll pull this little part out of the pump on this Solex, if I can get it to come off. There we go. And let's see what we've got inside, see if it is the correct accelerator pump part, or if that's that known issue where they have that valve in them that they shouldn't have. So I'm just getting petrol all over my hands, if you wonder why I'm sitting here at a funny angle rather than pouring it on the Jeep. So let's pop that down on the floor. And the answer appears to be a resounding yes. Now I don't know how well you're going to see this on the camera, probably not at all, but this is one of the little valves that are put in these newer Solexes, or have been for decades now from what I can tell, which don't actually work properly and they're not the part it's meant to have. It's not the, well, I don't know what the name of the thing is, I can't remember, but this is like a little valve and it should have something else. I'll put a link to Green Dot 319's video where he covers this problem in depth for those of you who know and might want to check. But I can in fact confirm that this Solex has the wrong part, as nearly all of them does, which is why when I put my foot down, instead of a nice jet of fuel like what this new carburetor carb gives, that just gives you a tiny little dribble and your engine bogs down and dies, and every time you accelerate you've just got nowhere near as much power as you should have. So then guys, hopefully this all came together alright and you enjoyed watching the video. First impressions of this carburetor carb, or this Joe's Motorpool reproduction carburetor carb, reworked by Jeffrey Engineering, so you buy it straight from them and they've already gone through it to make sure it works and everything. First impressions, brilliant. I haven't had to touch anything. Just adjust my idle, you know, the idle level for the fuel on the idle circuit, if I can get my bloody words out. And we all seem good. Got plenty of power, it could blow all the way up to 48 miles an hour without really caring. And so it should be fine. I tootle around like an old man at 30, 35, but at least it will have the power there when I'm pulling the trailer. So hopefully this one will stay being amazing and don't do what the last one did, which was be amazing for about 2 weeks and then completely stop working. I do need to fiddle with the hand throttle a bit because that's a bit weird, not quite in the right position, but don't really need that anyway. So anyway, I'll stop waffling on now. If you've enjoyed this, please do give me a like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, give me a shout, tell me what a stupid job I've done of something or whatever you like. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon.